So Donald Trump in the last few days has threatened that there is action coming against Venezuela and against cities with Democratic mayors. What the hell is going on? Check it out. Leave your comments, ding the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channels. Donald Trump was in Florida over the weekend, and I believe, maybe this is a week-old story, I'm not sure. It may be. But in any case, it's still a pretty solid thing. On a trip to COVID-19 riddled Florida this weekend, President Donald Trump not so cryptically revealed that he had something big planned for Venezuela during a meeting with leaders of the U.S. military's Southern Command. So he gets together with a bunch of generals who are responsible for looking at Central and South America. The part of our military is divided. There's the Southern Command, there's the Central Command, the CENTCOM, the Middle East. There's, frankly, I don't know the whole long list of them, or the relatively short list. I think there's 7 or 8 of them, but there's these, regional command structures. This is the one for the South, for Central and South America. And this is what he said to reporters, quote, "Something will happen with Venezuela. That's all I can tell you." And then he said, Washington, D.C. will be very much involved in what's going to happen with Venezuela. Now, it is true that on Trump's orders, the Southern Command has moved a whole bunch of military forces into that region, principally into Colombia. And the Trump has put a $15 million bounty on Venezuelan President Maduro's head. And now Elliott Abrams, Elliott Abrams of Nixon fame, Elliott Abrams of war in Vietnam, Elliott Abrams of Iran-Contra, Elliott Abrams, good God. He's been appointed Trump's special advisor on Venezuela. Abrams, and then this is where it gets really nasty. Trump has put new sanctions on, and Abrams announced this recently, a brand new sanctions on not just Venezuela, which is under virtual total blockade, but on any company anywhere in the world found to be helping with the importation of any goods into Venezuela in any way. This is an attempt to destroy Venezuela. And people are dying right now as a result of it. They don't have access to medicine. In many cases, they don't have access to food. Abrams even managed to force Lloyd's Registrar, which is the shipping registry, to withdraw their insurance and registration to ships that Elliott Abrams and Donald Trump say have broken the blockade anywhere, which means that they can't dock anywhere in the world. So it's not just a matter of, a ship taking something from Chile to Venezuela to feed people or medicine or something like that, that may never do business with anybody anywhere, anything having to do with America. But now, under this new policy that Elliott Abrams has put out, that ship won't even be able to dock back in Chile or Chile. I mean, this is mind-boggling. The UN rapporteur for Venezuela, or for human rights, visited Venezuela and said that over 100,000 people have died so far as a result of this blockade that the United States has unilaterally imposed, and that the U.S. is guilty of, in his words, crimes against humanity. And why is Donald Trump doing this? Well, it turns out that 92% of Venezuelans in Florida in the 2013 election who were able to cast absentee votes for, in Venezuela, voted against Maduro and for the opposition candidate, Radonsky. But I don't know why Trump wants their votes, because they're not American citizens. They can't vote in the United States. What am I missing here? And now Joe Biden is trying to out-hawk Trump on Venezuela, which is just stupid. But, there it is. So, number one. And number two, I mentioned this last week. I think we're still waiting for the next shoe to drop. President Donald Trump said he's going to announce soon that he's taking action against cities run by, quote, liberal left-wing Democrats, end quote, that are out of control with protesters and demonstrations. He made that announcement in the Oval Office. He specifically named Seattle, Minneapolis, Portland, and Detroit. We had over this last weekend federal officers come into Portland. Portland Police, Oregon State Police, every other police agency that operates in Oregon is banned from shooting these so-called less deadly weapons. They are deadly. You've got six people now so far that have lost an eye as a result of police firing these so-called less deadly weapons, these so-called rubber bullets and things at people. But in this case, they shot this kid in the face. These federal officers broke our laws here in Portland and in Oregon. They broke our laws and shot this kid in the face. And he has a fractured skull and broken bones all through his face, required major reconstructive surgery. And Donald Trump is bragging about this. And he says, we have other cities that are out of control. They're all run by Democrats. They're liberal left-wing Democrats. We're going to straighten it out.